Do you want to train your dog effectively? Are you making these common dog training mistakes? Today we're delving into the world of dog training, unearthing the top 10 blunders that could be hindering your progress. From inconsistency in training, neglecting socialization, overuse of negative reinforcement, skipping the basics, to not addressing behavioral issues early, and more. We'll explore each point in depth, giving you the insights needed to avoid these pitfalls. So buckle up, folks, and let's dive into the first common mistake: inconsistency in training. The first mistake to avoid is inconsistency in training. Now, inconsistency might sound like a minor hiccup, but believe it or not, it can have a colossal impact on your dog's learning curve. When we're inconsistent with commands or rewards, it can confuse our furry friends and lead to a whole heap of problems. Picture this. One day you're okay with your dog jumping on the couch, the next day you're not. That's like expecting them to understand quantum physics overnight. It's perplexing to say the least. So how do you maintain consistency? Well, it's all about setting clear expectations and sticking to them. If sit means sit, it should always mean sit, not jump or roll over. And remember, rewards should follow good behavior like clockwork. This way, your dog will understand what's expected of them and respond accordingly, saving you from a lot of head scratching and howling at the moon. Remember, consistency is key in dog training. Another common mistake is neglecting socialization. This isn't about gossiping at the dog park or setting up playdates on the weekend. It's about exposing your dog to different environments, people, and other animals. It's like a canine version of a sociology class. Imagine being cooped up all day, every day, and then suddenly being thrown into a party. Overwhelming, right? That's how your dog feels when it's not properly socialized. It can lead to anxiety, fear, and even aggression. So how do you socialize your four-legged friend? Simple. Gradually introduce them to new experiences. Take them to different parks, invite friends over, introduce them to other dogs, or even let them sniff out that weird-looking fire hydrant. Remember, socialization isn't a one-and-done deal. It's ongoing, just like our social lives. And yes, it can be as simple as saying hello to that dog across the street. So, don't forget to introduce your furry friend to new environments and fellow dogs. Mistake number 3 is using too much negative reinforcement. Now let's dive in. When training your dog, it's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that scolding or punishment will correct undesired behavior. But here's the thing. Dogs operate on a simple principle. Actions that get rewards get repeated. Negative reinforcement may seem to work in the short term, but it often creates fear and anxiety, leading to more behavior problems down the line. Instead, let's consider positive reinforcement. Reward your dog when they do something right, and ignore or redirect them when they slip up. This encourages them to repeat good behavior because they associate it with positive outcomes. It's like getting a gold star for acing a test. Who wouldn't want to study more? This approach not only makes training more enjoyable for your dog, but it also strengthens your bond. Remember, you're not just a trainer, but a friend and a guide. Positive reinforcement always works better and builds a stronger bond with your dog. Fourth on our list is skipping basic commands. Picture this, you're out for a walk, and your dog suddenly breaks free. Now what if they don't understand sit, stay, or come? You're in a pickle, aren't you? Teaching basic commands is like teaching a child the alphabet before they start reading Shakespeare. It's a fundamental step in dog training, and skipping it can lead to problems in communication and behavior control. Think of sit, stay, down, come, and leave it as the golden 5. They're the cornerstone of a well-behaved dog, and can even save their life in certain situations. For instance, leave it can stop your dog from eating something harmful, while come can prevent them from running into traffic. Teaching these commands requires patience and consistency, but the payoff is a well-mannered, safer, and happier pet. Remember, a well-trained dog is a joy to be around. Never underestimate the power of basic commands. Fifth mistake to avoid is not addressing behavioral issues early. Now, we're not talking about your pup's adorable habit of chewing on your favorite shoes. We're diving into the more serious stuff like aggression or excessive barking. You see, dogs, like humans, develop patterns and habits. The sooner you intervene, the easier it is to redirect their behavior. Delayed intervention? Well, that's like trying to turn a cruise ship. It takes a whole lot longer and requires much more effort. So, how do you identify these issues? Watch for changes in behavior, excessive aggression, or fear. If your dog suddenly starts barking at strangers or becomes overly protective of their food, it's time to act. Addressing these issues might involve seeking a professional trainer or behaviorist. Remember, every dog is different. What works for one might not work for another. Early intervention is key to preventing bigger behavioral problems, so keep an eye out and act swiftly. Your shoes and your sanity will thank you. Mistake number 6 is having training sessions that are either too long or too short. Now let's chew on this bone for a bit. The ideal duration of a training session can be a bit of a Goldilocks situation. It needs to be just right. Why is this important? Well, too long and you risk tiring your furry friend out. They might even start associating training with exhaustion and boredom. On the other hand, sessions that are too short may not offer enough time for your dog to grasp the new commands or behaviors. It's like trying to learn a new language in 5-minute intervals. Tricky, right? So what's the sweet spot? Generally 15 to 20 minutes is a good ballpark. This gives ample time for learning without overdoing it. Of course, every dog is unique, so you might need to adjust this a bit. Remember, balance is key when it comes to training session duration. The 7th mistake to avoid is lack of patience. Let's face it, we've all been there. You're trying to teach your dog a new trick or command and they just aren't getting it. It's easy to get frustrated, but remember, patience is key. Why is it so crucial, you ask? Well, dogs, like humans, learn at their own pace. Some may pick up new commands quickly, while others may need a little more time. By being patient, you're creating a positive learning environment for your furry friend. Now, maintaining patience can be a challenge, especially when progress seems slow. Here's a tip. Take a breather. If you're feeling frustrated, take a step back and try again later. Remember, training should be a fun and rewarding experience for both you and your dog. So, next time you find yourself losing patience, take a deep breath. Remember why you're doing this, and remind yourself, patience is your best friend when training your dog. Mistake number 8 is failing to generalize training. Now, what does generalizing training mean? It's about teaching your dog to respond to commands in various environments and situations. You see, dogs are situational learners. They learn that sit means sit in the kitchen, but they might not understand that sit also means sit at the park. It's important to generalize training to ensure your dog behaves well, no matter where you are or what's going on. The consequences of not doing this can be frustrating. Your dog might be an angel at home, but a little devil at the dog park. To avoid this, practice commands in different locations at different times and with different levels of distractions. Start in quiet, familiar places, then gradually add more distractions. Practice makes perfect after all. So, make sure to train your dog in different environments and situations. Your canine buddy will thank you for it, and so will everyone else around you. The 9th mistake is overfeeding as a reward. Now, this might seem like a no-brainer, but it's a trap so many of us fall into. We love our dogs and we want to reward them for good behavior, right? But overfeeding can lead to a host of health problems, including obesity, diabetes, and heart disease. Not exactly the gift we want to give our furry friends. Moreover, using food as the primary reward can create an unhealthy association between good behavior and eating. This can lead to overeating habits and food obsession in dogs, which is far from ideal. So what's the solution? Well, rewards come in many forms other than food. Praise, petting, a favorite toy, or a quick game can all serve as effective rewards. The key is to find what motivates your dog besides food, and use that to reinforce positive behavior. Remember, rewards don't always have to be food-based. The final mistake to avoid is not being the alpha leader. You see, in the canine world, packs are led by an alpha dog, the one who guides, makes decisions, and maintains order. For effective training, you need to step into the role of the alpha leader. This doesn't mean you should be harsh or domineering. Rather, you need to establish a sense of trust and respect. Dogs are instinctively programmed to follow a leader. They are looking for someone who provides safety, sets boundaries, and gives clear directions. How can you establish yourself as the alpha leader? Start by setting rules and ensuring they are followed consistently. Maintain a calm and confident demeanor. Dogs can sense your energy and will respond accordingly. Don't forget to reward good behavior. This reinforces your position as the leader who controls resources. Remember, it's not about being dominant, but about being a guide and protector for your dog. Establishing yourself as the alpha leader will make your training sessions much more effective. So, there you have it. The top 10 dog training mistakes to avoid. From the inconsistency in training, neglecting socialization, overusing negative reinforcement, to skipping basic commands. We also touched on the importance of addressing behavioral issues early, striking a balance in training session durations, practicing patience, generalizing training, moderating rewards, and the necessity of being the alpha leader. Each of these points is crucial in shaping your dog's behavior. Avoid these mistakes and you'll be well on your way to having a well-trained, happy dog.